Hey there, welcome to Motorcycles and Misfits, coming at you from the Recycle Garage in sunny Santa Cruz, California. What's up, Big Bong?
What?
That's a wigwam. That's a wigwam introduction.
That is amazing. Yeah,
Still got it.
yeah, you do. For those of you who are joining us, of course you recognize that voice. It's Narc. Welcome back, Narc.
I'm just here for the non-offensive gay jokes.
No, I know that.
I'm starting to start throwing.
I know
them
that.
out there.
Narc, darling, tell us who's in the house tonight. Who's
In the house,
heist?
in the house tonight, we have Stumpy John.
What up, everybody? The Stump of Love is in the house.
You should have a TV show called Stump of Love.
Who's sitting next
like
to
a
you, darling?
contest.
Who's sitting next to
The
you?
one and only Miss Miss Emma Booten.
Hello, darlings. It's simply fabulous to be here.
And we got the big fuckhouse of a man over here. The man himself, Jim. Naked Jim.
My name's Jimmy. I'll take all you give me.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
And of course, sitting next to me on the classy girl couch,
Quite handsome, too.
exotic number one, and always will be. It's Knock.
This is Knock. Also,
Yes.
via modern communication technology, Bagel from Veneta, Oregon. Venetia?
It is I.
Yeah.
Velveeta.
It's
It's a lot of cheese. A lot of
Right.
cheese in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yes, it is I, Bagel. Hot, delicious, and chewy as always.
Oh, like a warm brownie.
Yeah.
No, so the facts remain.
He's got
that
a Harley shirt on. What
He does.
shirt are
That'd
you
be
wearing,
looking
Bagel?
He's
Looks like
wearing a Harley
Not quite.
Davidson shirt, and his garage is cleaned out, and he's
Wait.
been manscaping.
That's a Harley
And
Davidson shirt?
He is self.
Oh, it's Scooter Insanity 2020.
Nice.
Oh,
Okay.
my God. Look at that. It's got fireworks and anchors and all sorts of shit.
But nevertheless, I mean,
needles and
he's
wrenches.
manscaped. He's self-describing as, what was it? Hot and chewy.
Hot, delicious, and chewy.
Hell
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
And a wee bit sweaty.
So, Bagel, Grinder or Christian Mingle, darling?
Or farmers only.
Yes.
You can't find the same people on the same different apps?
I have sworn off the apps for now.
Oh, really?
Yes.
No more farmers only?
No, definitely not.
Okay, well, nevertheless.
Not after the Mormon incident, that's for sure.
Oh, God.
The barn raising.
But I couldn't.
That was the barn raising,
So,
wasn't it?
no, darling, thank
Yes.
you so much for
You're
that
welcome, dear.
fabulous introduction.
Indeed.
You do still have it, and we do miss you, darling. Same as Naked Jim. I mean, you're not as regular as you have been in the past, Jim.
Fiber helps, Jim.
I
Yes.
know, I tell you it does. Yes. Oh, no, it's just, other things in life
Well,
sometimes. I've been
life get in the
visiting
way.
family, so I've been visiting the kids. So people are longtime listeners. I have a son.
You mean you
and a
love your kids
daughter.
more than us?
Yeah, it's not hard. No. So, yeah, so I've been seeing the kids. They're doing great.
Well,
That's
I know
been
you're
cool.
super proud of both of your kids. and,
Yeah, but we're lining up some writing. John and I were just talking about
Yeah.
Lone Pine, California in October, and
I'm so ready.
So,
desert season is fast approaching.
so the Lone Pine Ride, can listeners join you on that?
Oh, yeah, listeners can join on any of the
Well,
rides.
share the wealth then.
Okay, so here's one that we're planning. John might have to remind me of the dates.
Yeah, let me.
It was like October, third weekend of October, something like that.
Now, is this with Big Thumpers, John?
No, this is just us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just we have a little text
Little
group
Willie?
called Dirt Bike Motherfuckers 2. It was Dirt Bike Motherfuckers, but then we added another person, so we had to make a new name, and that's what I came up with. So no, it's just friends.
Motherfuckers.
So this is October 18th through 22nd.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're planning a little trip, Lone Pine, California. It's mostly known for the place with the most movies filmed anywhere on the planet.
Wow.
What?
Yes, so it came to fame as the first silent Western movie was filmed there. So this is only a few hours out of L.A., north of the town of Mojave. So this is where the Sierras end, and you go up the backside of the Sierras up towards 395. And also what Lone Pine is known for is Mount Whitney, which I think
Okay.
is the tallest mountain in the continental United States.
I believe it is.
Very dramatic. We flew over it on the way to Vegas, Emma.
We did
Remember,
indeed.
I got rather
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, you did. Said, oh, there's Mount Whitney.
Would you look at that?
And you got excited. And the
Yes.
flight attendant had to come and calm you down.
Yeah, so a lot of people know. So it had all the silent westerns were filmed there. Then like the Lone Ranger and Tano, all that was filmed there. And fascinating history about that, by the way. And then all sorts of other stuff. So you might remember in the Iron Man movie, the one where Tony Stark's standing there and he's like, "Do you want to be feared or respected? I want to be both." And they shoot the missile system.
Oh, yeah. He's in the desert in the first Iron Man movie.
Yeah. And it had a name. It was like not Pegasus, but something crazy.
Yeah.
And it blew up the mountains. So you can actually camp for free on that exact movie spot. So it's BLM land, and it's high desert where it meets the Eastern Sierras and literally juts up to Mount Whitney. So it's incredibly dramatic. So that's why gazillions of movies are filmed there. So we're going to do a trip on the dates John mentioned, and if anybody wants to come along. It's great.
Well, how are they going to get in touch with you? Probably via, I was going to say, the usual Motorcycles and Misfits website.
Yeah, just do that. Put it on Liza. I suck at social media responding.
Right.
So
Just email me at john@bigthumpers.com.
There you go.
There you
John
go.
at bigthumpers.com.
So yeah, fun desert riding, dramatic. Those abandoned mines you can ride in. Part of the BDR system goes through there, and a Japanese internment camp museum, which is definitely worth visiting.
Do you know they have a Japanese internment camp museum at the Presidio in San Francisco as well?
Did they intern people there?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, Angel Island has a big spot too, I think.
Yeah. So worth a visit. I do feel, though, we're getting ahead of ourselves because our listeners, our lovely listener, is going to be asking, where is Liza?
Who?
Liza? That one.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
She's
Who would that
eating
be?
genuine British food, a.k.a. chicken tikka masala.
Yeah, some bangers. She does a bangers.
Bangers
Bangers
and
and
mash.
mash like my mother used to make. No, Liza is currently, as we speak, on the Isle of Man,
I saw some photos from Isle of Man.
watching the Manx Grand Prix.
Lucky her.
Yes.
Special stuff.
No, it's going to be a great trip. I mean, I can tell already. So she is over there with Kat.
Yeah.
And they're really trying to put together an England trip. So
Are they-
in 2024, with all of the trips that we do, so that's going to be the Dolomites Training Tour, Castles and Curves,
Pakistan twice.
Pakistan twice, so that's going to be a Chickistan and a Stumperstan, and Vietnam in the fall.
And we're doing King of the Hammers in January.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
You'll be able to do an English trip. And all our trips, and I work very, very hard with my side of the trips, they have to be affordable, and they have to be affordable for average working men and women.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hallmark of all our
true.
trips. I mean, you can't put something like this together for $50, but if you have a decent job and you get a couple of weeks holiday a year,
Yeah.
you can afford to go on one of our trips.
Yeah, once in a lifetime kind of a thing. Twice in a lifetime, whatever.
Yeah, and then you do it every year.
Or just go on a trip on your own, which is equally as awesome.
Yes,
Yeah.
So if everyone's interested, you can look at Layout Escapes.
yes.
LEOD escapes.com. You can look at adifferentagenda.com. And
Vintage rides with our friend
That's right.
Wendy Crockett.
Vintage Rides. And then look up the King of the Hammer if you want to do that too.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
and
our shit. My shit's free. My shit you just come to and hang out and bring firewood.
Yeah,
My only rule is bring firewood and a good
firewood and
attitude.
firewood.
And a wee bit of devil's lettuce.
Yeah.
Some 5.56 would be handy too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
extra gas.
And
Yeah.
if anybody wants to have a look at the Vietnam adventure thing, and bear in mind this is year one, so I'm as much in the dark as everybody else. I'll be in a lot better position to talk about it after we've done it. But if you want to go to Big Sur Motorcycle Adventures, you can check out the Vietnam trip and see what that's about.
And also Breaking Away Matt. I've been
of
following
course.
him on the Instagram, and he's been doing the Washington BDR and Nevada BDR. He's doing some amazing trips.
Right.
Riding on the beach, all that kind of stuff.
You know, it's funny. Me and Liza, we were talking, and we kind of touched the subject last week about how we see the Misfits moving forward and how we see the garage moving forward. Because the garage has changed. There's no two ways about it. And I think these trips that we put on are really a huge part of our future. And they're very, very personal, and you can actually hang out with us and go to these awesome places. And doing these trips is just so much fun for me. The best thing for me is always riding with my friends. Always.
Yeah.
And what's nice is like our podcast community, we all are of like mind. I'll say that. So if you sign up for doing something with us, you know what you get yourself
exactly.
into.
You know exactly what you're going to get.
Fun.
There's going to be a lot of food. There's going to be a lot of booze. There's going to be a lot of riding motorbikes.
Be some shenanigans.
Yeah, there will be shenanigans. So you know what you're going to get out of the box. But we had, there's a few things I want to talk about today. We had a lovely day down at the garage. It's actually, it came back a little bit today. It was quite a busy day.
Oh, good.
For the first time in a long time, I was like, oh, I need to be there. I need to be there. I need to be there. I need to be there.
Yeah. Guillermo showed up with this cool-ass looking Nighthawk that's was not running.
A really cool. I mean, it was cool looking before the blue we were talking about, but he brought the gas tank out, and I'm like, oh my God, that's a great looking bike.
So,
but that's not the story.
One of our listeners, Guillermo, showed up.
Shout out. Super nice dude.
Really nice dude and he drove all the way from Napa.
On our advice.
No shit.
On
From
our
Napa?
advice from last Sunday, we read his email.
God
Right,
damn.
we did.
All right.
And he was having issues with his Nighthawk 750.
Yep.
And we're like, blah, 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 come down early on Sunday.
And he did.
And he did. And I think he
Nice.
reaped the benefit of that.
He really did. So he had a 1982 Honda Nighthawk 750. Now, there's going to be a lot of people who are very familiar with the 90s Honda Nighthawks, which was really the final incarnation
I used to love the S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the 82 is nothing like those. I think somebody in the Honda styling department was probably smoking quite a lot of crack in 82 because
Cocaine,
they
baby.
came up with this thing, and it's sort of a hallmark of all the Nighthawks of that era, that they were quite unlike any other motorcycle on the road.
Did they still have the hydraulic lifters or tappets or whatever?
No.
That was later, right?
Yeah, it was later.
Okay.
This is a completely different engine. This is like that.
What year was this one?
CB900F, CB750F engine. 1982. 82. Kind of a royal blue pearl fuel tank with chrome graphics.
Yeah.
It was great.
Big chrome graphics on it.
It looked like the aluminum siding around your screen door kind of a thing. But it popped, though. It really looked great.
Great looking bike.
Dynamite.
Very nicely styled bike. But all of those twin cam Honda 4s are very finicky on carburetors. And guess what? If you resurrect one that's been hanging around for a while, you're going to be doing carbs.
The guy got it for like $900 or something.
Yeah, he got it for a good price. And I mean, they all seem to be about that money. And then,
And he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
But
but he'd gotten into the carbs and he'd gotten into them 2 or 3 times. And he'd got to the stage, I'm done. I'm done. I need some guidance here. So we came down and we had a poke and a prod around with him. We got that thing really jamming.
Well, right out the gate, the first thing you noticed was it wasn't fully seated, right?
Yes.
So it's like you kind of like how do you troubleshoot, And it was kind of fun to watch you walk through the whole troubleshooting of the carb. And right out the gate, it wasn't fully seated. The rubber boots to the engine,
Yes.
which doesn't take much to suck in air, right, and fuck things up.
As soon as you get an air leak at that critical point, anywhere between the carburetor and the cylinder head, if you get an air leak, you're going to get an idle that hangs up, you're going to get a weak mixture, you're going to get popping through the downpipes. It's a mess. So you need to cure that straight away. So before we did anything else, we got those carburetors. I got him to back off all the clamps. We pushed in those carburetors as much as we can. And that was quite a job in itself. But
It's buried in there. There's so much shit on top
Well, it's good
of that
learning,
stuff.
too. Like when you undo those clamps, undo them all the way. Literally all the way.
And Honda are very, very smart with this. If you have a clamp for a carburetor, there's a captive nut that is welded on the back of the clamp and a screw that goes through the front. And here's a Misfits top tip. Get your finger round the back and feel when the screw becomes flush with that captive nut.
Just imagine prostate exam.
Yes.
That's what I'm seeing Emma do right now.
That is when the clamp is correctly backed off.
Yeah.
And back it off So it's flush. So basically, you can't back it off anymore, but the screw won't fall out because it's still held by the captive nut. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
And you've got to do that with a multi-carburetor setup. And if you think that's bad, those are exactly the same carburetors that are on Honda CBX. The 6 carburetors in the V shape. Now, you remember when I was doing Wiggins carburetors on the bench?
That's exactly what I thought about.
Jeez. Yeah, you need your wits about you when you do those things.
So there's different lengths between the carburetor to the engine on a CBX?
Well, the rubber parts are all the same.
Gotcha.
But they make a slightly different length on the inlet tract on the cylinder head.
Gotcha.
But the carbs are done in a V. And they just did it in a V to make it narrower at the critical point where your legs go.
There's so many little failure points though, right? Because from the air box to that point, those are all little rubber
everything
boots, whatever you call it.
And they're all rubber boots, and they all go hard
and they all need a seat.
Because of fuel, because of the ozone layer, because of this, because of age, because of plastic, because, and they all leak, and they all cause problems. So we fixed all the problems.
Well, with his, it was hanging up a little bit, right?
Yes.
So you had him do the curl oil, the oil that creeps.
Well, the butterflies in the carburetors were hanging a little bit, and what he'd done, where you have individual carburetors, in this case there's 4. You have a gantry on the front.
So we had it out on the table right now.
And a gantry on the back.
You fully pulled the thing.
Well, at home,
Tried not to.
He had all the carbs off the gantry, and you really need your wits about you if you want to pull them off the gantry.
You keep them together.
And he'd pulled them all off. And there was something just a tiny, tiny bit misaligned. When I actually took the gantry itself off, it was pretty twisted, so I had to kind of hammer it back straight. And I got it so it wasn't hanging, and it was really, really snappy. We got a nice 1,000 RPM idle, and it was snappy.
I heard at the end it sounded great.
Yeah.
But he was like super positive the whole time, good natured. But that was a full day of
no, he's a mellow cat.
carburetor.
Yeah, and he drives a bus for a living, and generally people who drive people around, they're like real mellow.
Yeah.
You can't have an excitable person driving a bus. It's not a good career, But hey, what a beautiful neck of the woods to actually, drive transit in.
Yeah. He's up Sonoma.
He's Napa, Sonoma.
How long did it take you to sort all that out? A couple hours?
Yeah, easily. And of course, I did some electrical work on the Africa Twin.
Yeah, so I showed up just after. Actually, I was pulling out of my house, and I looked down the street, and I saw King Kong making a left off of Chestnut.
Is that the official name for that car now? Your truck?
Yeah, King Kong.
Kong?
King Kong. That's King Kong.
It does look like a banana. It's a bright banana yellow in the front there.
It looks like one of those highway safety rigs, like on steroids, because it's so giant. Because literally, I'm like, hey, look at that tow truck. I'm like, look at that. That's King Kong.
It's King Kong.
And I was going to chase him down to the garage, but I was on my way to get donuts, which I thought
is far more important.
So I rolled over to Farrell's on Mission Street, scored some donuts, and came back down. Yeah, so I was having an issue with the Africa Twin. The auxiliary lights weren't working, and it just wasn't a simple thing. So Emma helped me chase it down.
We chased it down to a bad ground, and then your high beam was a bit.
Yeah. So so as the way it all started out was the Africa Twin, which I love. If anyone wants to buy it, let me know.
Like that, huh, Jim?
Well, it's an awesome bike. I just need something I can pick up a little easier. The bike, like I say, the bike gets heavier every year.
Yeah.
So that Tenere 700, I think, is in my future. But I love the Africa Twin, and I got the low seat on it now, so I'm still ready to rock it. Anyway, I put on the Baja Design lights, and they give you one of these connectors when you wire the switch in. You wire it you pull out the high beam wire, and it's this little like vampire clip or whatever you call it, little button. You basically snap it onto the wire, and it's supposed to snap right in and work, which sounds cool, but it didn't work when I did it. Right. So then it'd been the kind of miscellaneous problems from there. And And long story short, there was a repair that needed to be made in that, which was we did some soldering.
Well, when the vampire clip went on, it fractured the wire, and then that caused its own problems.
Well, and the wire is so small gauge.
Yeah, and that's part of the problem, and it's got a silicon
ripped it.
casing on it. And mechanical electrical connectors aren't the best.
We had a little. We had I actually had a class from Emma in that today. Electrical connections, but I got to watch you solder, which I don't see often.
Solder, darling, solder.
That's right.
Yeah,
There's a
solder.
whole
You got to use the proper
6-month
pronunciation.
class in Britain
It's
for
solder. I've always
soldering.
said solder. That's
Yeah,
funny.
well, no, that's the American way, darling.
Well, it's the
No,
right
we
way then,
say
right?
solder.
Because we're a bunch of sods, you know.
Yes.
King's
So
English.
in
Bunch of solids.
Britain, do you take the same class soldering that you do brazing, or are they separate classes?
So let me tell you how they do brazing. Back in the old days, in the very, very old days, all the motorcycle frames were brazed. And you get something like an old BSA, and you'd have this big cast iron headstock that carried the bearings and carried basically the neck of the frame. And then there'd be like spigots coming off, and the tube, which either went round the engine or the backbone, would kind of slide over the spigot.
It's like a bicycle, huh?
Yeah, and then it'd be brazed. And the master brazer, he'd be the one with the brass rod and the torch. And then the apprentice would be the one throwing the flux. And what the flux does is it gets the brass to flow. There's a lot of similarities between soldering and brazing, but the temperatures, of course, are far higher. If you want to melt brass, you need some pretty high temperatures. Solder, or as you Americans insist on calling it solder, yes, sod. The advantage with solder is it melts at a very, very low temperature. And so it does a variety of things. It lubricates the joint with lead as it melts onto it, but it forms a protective shield with like the zinc in there as well. So it's a complete repair.
So how strong is brazing as opposed to welding?
Oh God, it's stronger. It's
Pretty strong.
It's stronger.
Where if you've got a mechanical joint, if you've got a mechanical joint like a peg with a tube that goes on it, the advantage with brazing, and if you've got a good brazer, and believe me, back in the day in the Triumph and BSA factories, they had some really, really good brazers, because that's all they did all day, every day for like 20 years. Yeah, I've been brazing since 1930, and I've still got all my own teeth, But they got these cats, so they've just been doing it for 20 years. If you get a good brazer, that's far stronger than the steel.
Why did they go away from it? Just for cost?
Well, and weight. Frames were made differently.
That's true.
It's
aluminum now too. A lot.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, brazing naturally lends itself to a mechanical joint that needs making permanent.
It's a lot more surface area for the braze itself.
Right,
too,
exactly.
compared to-
So, you think like a bicycle frame, because I think bicycle frames were brazed
I
up
think they're
until
still
quite...
brazed now. All
Well, the
ones
lightweight
are
ones
right?
are made
Yeah.
out of composites now. aren't
Yeah,
they?
the
But,
composite ones.
but
Was
yes.
brazing also used to join cast iron to steel?
yes,
or-
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I mean,
yeah,
it's,
which you can't do with weld.
right, exactly.
So you can join dissimilar metals with brazing.
You can join dissimilar metals with
aluminum to
brazing. And back in the old days, back in the 1970s, I met this old boy. And he used to restore very, very high-end cars back in the 70s. You might say, well, what kind of cars were you restoring in the 1970s? And these were like the Duesenbergs and the Packards
Coaches.
and the V12 Lincolns.
Coaches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Auburns.
And, if you were doing, and the Auburns, and if you were doing body repairs on those in the 70s, it was all done with brazing, because it was considered more permanent than lead. And I still know how to do lead. I do if I've got a gas tank that's got a dent in it, I'll lead it, rather than put Bondo in it, because you put lead in it and that's it, it's done. It's as good as the rest of it. But it is quite heavy, which is the problem. That's the one problem with lead. And it's...
And toxic.
And you can't,
And you don't want to breathe those fumes.
That explains some things.
don't lick it.
Yeah, right.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, but that's the old-fashioned way. You'd feed some lead into it, and lead's great because you can make it into shapes. You can make it into shapes.
Do you pound it or
No, you file
sand
it. You file it.
Yeah.
No, you can't sand lead.
So how do you smooth out a gas tank if you let it? How do you block it? How would you block it, so to speak?
Just with a big file.
Okay.
And then once you get it so it's 90% there, you just put a whoosh of filler on the top of Bondo.
Whoosh.
Because Bondo's great. All Bondo is really thick primer. That's all it is. But you just don't want it that thick. I mean, you don't want Bondo to be much thicker than a credit card.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as long
Just
as you
enough
do
to
that,
eat it.
it'll last the life of the car.
What about
But-
fiberglass resin or something like that?
You know, it's the same. But I mean, basically, you're sticking stuff on top of stuff. Yeah. If you're reaching for the fiberglass resin, you'd probably do better reaching for the lead and just get the old respirator out.
Yeah, dude was stoked though.
Yeah.
It was bike.
No,
Yeah.
that was cool. Oh,
No,
so the Africa Twin. Yeah, so we soldered up the wires.
Yeah, so we
taped it
soldered
back
up the
together.
wires for you. Did you
so
a nice
It was a bad ground. oddly
secondary
enough.
ground, yeah, and I did you a really, really nice secondary ground, which was also soldered
Yes.
to one of the radiator supports, which goes directly to the frame.
I think we did 3 soldered connections.
Yes,
today.
we did. We did
Yeah.
all kinds of
So
solder.
thank you for the lesson in soldering.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, so you've got now high beam, low beam,
And auxiliary lights.
your auxiliary lights. And who else? And John was messing about with throttle cables, quite unsuccessfully.
Exactly.
But we got you down the right path.
Yeah, I had the DRZ. I'm still sorting that thing out, but it has the FCR, the flat bumper carb, and I think the previous owner just used the wrong throttle cable, so it was sloppy, like super sloppy. So I bought one, which was an OEM one, but
Some gentlemen do like it sloppy, the cognoscenti tell me.
it depends on the situation. But
Okay,
yes.
very good. But yeah, no, so
So I just ordered the Motion Pro, the one that specifically for that carb.
the Motion Pro,
Yeah.
they've got Motion Pro.
They're nice. They got those little chrome knuckles in there. You could kind of,
Yeah, so
Really well done.
and we've got you the quick action, so that'll get you down the road. So like quarter turn, full
That's
throttle.
what I want.
Yes, that is what you want. Gosh, what else turned up? It seems there was more things turning up today.
I took Sullivan, Evelyn's kid, on a ride around the block.
Oh, I saw the Amigo out and about. That was
Yeah.
scary.
So actually, let's get to brass tacks, because Knock, you were something of a regular on this show, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yes, you were.
Yeah.
And then you stopped being a regular on the show, and everyone says, "Well, where's Knock gone?"
He finished rehab.
And everyone
Started
said
rehab.
he's taking care of a child.
Yeah, well.
And we
it's
met
many
that
sorts.
child today.
Yeah, she was. Okay.
Yeah, so
My friend Evelyn is. She's a single mom and she's got a kid.
and Evelyn's a very good egg.
And so when Evelyn got pregnant with Sullivan, I'm at this point I've known Sullivan, the child, since she was a sonogram. So of course, like, I'm the cool uncle and I get to hang out, do cool uncle shit with her, you know. And one of the things she wants to do is learn how to ride a motorbike, and so we got her on the Amigo. I mean, I'm sitting behind her and she's in front, and she's steering the Amigo, and she's learning how to shift gears on it, and she's having a lot of fun. She enjoyed it very much.
Cheers to we pick on the Amigo a lot, but the Amigo just redeemed itself.
Yeah.
Well, just for a single reason. And I smiled inside because I'm sure everyone's heard this story, but for those that don't, that was my first experience on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
A similar age to Sullivan. How old Sullivan?
She's 9. She's going to be 9. Yeah.
And I was 9 as well. And I was a small 9. Mm-hmm. And my mom wanted to go out and find a new husband, so she was all tarted off with a beehive, and she went off down the pub and left me in the care of a babysitter called Roz. And I liked Roz, and Roz was great. And Roz had a boyfriend who had a brand new Triumph Bonneville, a gold one, 71. And he came around, "Oh, do you think Emma would want to go out on the Bonneville?" And Roz goes, "Yes." And so, he sat me, and it's funny, I can't remember his name. I remember Roz, but I can't remember his name. So he sat me, and I kind of put my back against his chest, and his arms were around me. So I felt quite safe. And I sat on the gas tank, and I remember to this day how cold it was, because, of course, it was full of fuel. Yeah. And off we went. I was done.
That's funny. That's exactly how I started.
I was frigging done.
Yeah.
My eyes rolled back in my head.
Yep.
From that point forward, I wasn't interested in posters of David Cassidy or anything like that.
The Bay City Rollers.
No, I wasn't interested in any of that. I had posters on my wall of Van Veen OCR 1000s and Laverda Jotas.
So
And Barry Sheen.
I'm
Yes,
looking at like
Barry.
Baza.
so yeah, I'm looking at PW50s and electric dirt bikes.
Yeah,
for
excellent.
Christmas, so
Yeah, and I
nice.
mean, I'm really excited to think what kind of bike Sullivan's going to be riding when she's like 18, 19, 20. And what sort of propulsion they'll have.
Stretch boosas.
Well,
she's like a resilient kid. She does there's like a derby class for like little kids like her.
yeah.
So she's used to getting like
Like
thrown
roller
around,
derby?
getting walloped, getting skate wheels in her
Yeah.
back, and getting all bruised and shit. So
Yeah.
she's a kid. She's rubbery. She's just.
But I
bouncing off
was
everything.
devoting a little thought to this, and I mean it was just aimless thinking. But we've been talking really since I arrived on the podcast. I think since a lot of us arrived on the podcast about electric bikes and saying, "Oh yeah, it's going to be the next big yodel, and here we are. What, 7 years later, 8 years later? And they're not really gaining the traction. And I think there's a variety of reasons for that. And I think weight is probably part of it. Because, the thing, whenever I get an electric bike, especially a high-performance one, like an Energica come down the shop, I'm always struck by how friggin' heavy it is. And I mean, they're awkwardly heavy as well. They don't feel lithe and heavy. I mean, they're clunky and heavy. And I would love, particularly in the Bay Area, because I know it's not going to be everyone, if hydrogen fuel cell takes off in the Bay Area, because I know, fuel cell vehicles, it's all about the infrastructure, and you have to have a hydrogen fueling station for them. And I've seen plenty of Toyota Mirais around, so I know there are fueling stations. I would love to see what a hydrogen fuel cell bike looks like, because it's going to have the propulsion, but it should theoretically have a lot less weight because you don't need as much battery capacity. And I think that would be interesting, because the actual hydrogen fuel cell itself is not much bigger than a thermos flask.
Wait, the hydrogen fuel cell is still internally combustion, right?
No, it's electric. Yeah.
So how do they
Well,
work?
it's a chemical reaction.
It's a chemical reaction that powers electricity.
Interesting.
That generates. You can generate electricity, and you've got an electric motor at the wheel. So basically, a hydrogen fuel cell vehicle has electric motors, but they just don't need a giant battery because they're not relying on the battery for reserve capacity. They're relying on the hydrogen fuel cell. It's all terribly clever.
Did Kawasaki make one? I was trying to Google
Yes.
right quick, and it looked like Kawasaki made one.
Yes. But it's all about the infrastructure. I mean, you can make the most wonderful high-performance hydrogen fuel cell vehicle in the world, but if you don't have the infrastructure that you can fill it up, it's completely meaningless. Yes, Bagel?
Well, one of the things that I've been noticing that they're doing in Germany or working towards is converting the existing natural gas filling infrastructure over to hydrogen, because they've had a lot of natural gas in place, which there's a small amount here in the U.S. as well. A lot of fleet vehicles have been using natural gas, especially in California. Those, from what I understand, those could be very easily converted to hydrogen. So that may be part of what is going to be done in the future.
And
as well.
that becomes interesting, because now you have that's something quite different. That becomes an internal combustion engine that is powered by hydrogen.
Yeah.
And
I didn't mean the vehicles, but I meant the filling stations.
the actual filling stations. Yeah. So,
but I suppose you could convert vehicles to run on hydrogen as internal combustion as well.
but I think.
Wouldn't be nearly as efficient, I'm sure.
And again, at the risk of repeating ourselves, I don't think we're heading for any single solution. There's going to be no Band-Aid for this. What we're going to see in 40 years, 50 years, long after I'm gone and Jim's gone, and God knows who else is gone, there's going to be a variety of ways of getting you down the road. And internal combustion is still going to be one of them. It's probably going to be quite expensive.
Well, I mean, you can pack a lot of power into a little bit of gasoline.
Right.
And secondly, we've been refining it over the last 120 or 30 years. So,
but that's going to be
said for that.
That's going to be one of them. Electricity is going to be another. Hydrogen fuel cells going to be another. Blah 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 blah. Do you remember in Blade Runner? There's this great scene in Blade Runner. It seems to be raining all the time, and they're down at ground level, and there's all these super futuristic cars, and right in the middle of them all is a '59 Cadillac. With giant black 59 Caddy with tail fins. And it's like, there's the holdout. And, that was probably what year was Blade Runner set in? 2035
I would say like
or
36
something?
or so. Yeah, in that.
So, the guy was probably driving his great-great-great-grandfather's car.
Still cool, though.
But, and we're going to see that.
Yeah. It's going to be a multi.
But it's going to be a multi-thing.
Yeah.
Which kind of... It dovetails me. I want to do a little ride report, and it's going to be slightly different. So I had a lovely week because I had some friends come and visit me from England, and Brian is one of my oldest friends, and I've known Brian since 1974 when we went to school together.
Real quick, Blade Runner
Yes.
was set off in the future in the distant year of Los Angeles 2019.
Good Lord. Wow.
Oh,
Sorry to interrupt you, Emma, but yeah.
yeah.
So there you go.
Right.
So my lovely friend Brian, who I first met in 1979 when I went to grammar school, and we met, and we were thick as thieves ever since. So I've known this cat 50 years. And he's got a super family. He's got a son and a daughter, and Amy is 20, very, very bright young lady, and very very theatrical, and she's going to university, and then Ethan's 16, so of course he's embroiled in
what 16-year-olds are embroiled in.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so they were with me for a few days, so I thought, look, we need to go down to Big Sur, because what's better? I mean, it was just, I think we went down on Friday.
So wait, hold on. This is the first time they've been to the States?
The children, yes.
Oh, that's cool. Big Sur's a good one to take them to.
Exactly. Yeah. So we went down to Big Sur, and we, went down the river. No, the weather was absolutely drop dead gorgeous. And I was on the Harley.
Nice.
So, Kathy and Brian and his wife were in the car, and then I took Ethan down, and then Amy wanted to come back, and of course I was on the Harley. And it struck me as I was riding back, and it was just absolutely just glorious evening. I mean, it was warm, and it's such an iconic road. The Harley was the only bike for the job.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah,
and I mean,
it
really cemented, because, a lot of people say Harleys are this, Harleys are this, Harleys are this, and it is all true. But as an iconic machine, and as an example of Americana.
Yes.
And make no mistake, and I found this very, very interesting when I was in Germany, when I was in Italy. There are a lot of people who are not necessarily in love with America, but with Americana.
Mm-hmm.
And the culture, and the cars, and the bikes, and the movies, and this almost halcyon vision of what America is.
Well, it's very common. I have relatives in the UK, right? From Scotland in the UK. And every time one of the youngsters turns 18 or 19, they all come to America. They do New York City.
Right.
They might do San Francisco. They definitely do Las Vegas.
It's like Rumspringa, huh?
And sometimes LA. But it's like this rite of passage.
It's a rite of passage for kids.
But it's all the Americana places, like all the places you hear about.
Right.
Get a New York slice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And, so we're both, and of course the kids thought it was the greatest thing. And I knew Ethan, the young boy, was going to like it. I mean,
you took him on the Harley?
I took him on the Harley.
Oh,
nice.
What I was
life-changing.
What I was surprised about was how much Amy liked it. And she, because I thought she's going to be like, quite sort of frozen on the back and a little bit clunky around the corners because, of course, you sit on the back of these things and it's shaking underneath you and it's kind of feels a little bit rickety. And, of course, I've got this giant, because I've got the Super Glide, so I've got this good seat for me. It's quite narrow for the passenger.
You don't think too much about the passenger.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about the image.
And there's no sissy bar or anything. It's
No,
kind of
nothing,
hold on
no.
for dear life kind of thing.
And I just said, look, sit and relax, and if you need to hold on, you can just grab me. And she just sat there, and she was super relaxed, and she gets off, and her eyes are like giant. So she's, oh my God,
well, what's
that's
nice
great.
is that run of Highway 1 south of where you live, south of Marina and Monterey,
Yes.
it's not real fast. So it's very comfortable to kind of cruise in and go slow. Or like the run between here and San Francisco with those straightaways.
Yeah.
It really tempts you to go fast.
Right, exactly. And there's always fast-moving traffic.
But there's very little to tempt you going south, at least till you get past Bixby Bridge.
Right, but, 55, 60 miles an hour.
Oh, it's a nice place to be.
Sun setting, it's warm.
Oh, gorgeous.
Just an absolutely iconic...
Yeah, why would you go fast, right?
Yeah, exactly. You just make it last as much as you can.
Oh, good for them. Did you stop for pictures?
Yeah, we did. We stopped for many, many pictures, and then, the end of the evening, we stopped in Carmel for ice cream.
Nice.
And it was just a lovely day out, and I realized how lucky we are to live in such a great place.
Yeah.
And yes, it's expensive, and yes, the traffic's bad, and blah, 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 but my God, what a place. Mm-hmm. It's fantastic.
That's a nice ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the Harley's a good call.
But I think it was the right bike for it, and so it's. I think all of us have got a collection of bikes, and they all do a certain thing. But
Knox all do wheelies.
yes, well, that's high on his list of priorities. But I really cannot imagine a better bike to do it on.
Yeah.
And for them to have memories of.
Right, exactly.
Harley Davidson up and down the PCH, California Dreamin'.
Right, and
Brilliant.
it wasn't even one of those. I don't think it'd even have been as cool if we'd have been on a bagger or something.
Yeah.
No, a big tour glide. The Super Glide was the image machine
Very
for the job.
raw. You're very exposed on that bike.
Exactly, and it looks retro. It's got America written all over it. It was just the greatest thing.
You should stop for tattoos.
I did
In
suggest
Salinas.
it.
In Salinas.
Yeah, no, I did.
Salinas.
I did. Amy was quite taken with the compass rose on my shoulder, and I suggested to her father. he took a rather dim view of it, and he's like, "No."
How old is she?
Not yet.
20.
Oh, that's plenty old enough.
Yeah, well, I know, but British girls are different, darling.
Yeah.
Fucking,
they're proper.
I'll never forgive Mikey 3 times for taking Jake to Born Free when she was like 15 and a half.
Oh, God.
She came home with a tattoo.
What?
That's
Yeah, fucking Born Free when she was
she got a little
maybe
dagger on her
16.
forearm. Yeah.
Oh,
Really?
what'd you get, honey? A unicorn? No, a dagger with blood dripping off it.
That's awesome.
It was pretty awesome.
I had no idea.
Yeah, she
that's
came
pretty
back tattooed from Born Free.
And that was her first one. And of course, she's got this giant chest thing now, doesn't she?
Oh, she has a lovely collection of tattoos at this point.
She's an art collector.
She's a proper Navy tattoo, art collector.
Oh yeah, you've got your whole back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that old Rod Steiger film, The Illustrated Man?
I don't think so.
Oh, that is a good film.
Rod Steiger, okay.
Rod Steiger, yeah, he plays a guy. He's covered in tattoos, and they all come to life and haunt him.
Oh.
And
That sounds unfortunate.
well, it's kind of it's one of these weird sort of late 60s, early 70s film, The Illustrated Man. It's great.
Oh, yeah,
and it's
bad remake.
and it's all through time. He's in Victorian times, he's in current times, he's in future
really?
times. Yeah, it's wild.
Ooh, that's a good
It's a
top tip.
wild film.
It's like Memento. Remember Memento? Mm-hmm. Where they did all the backwards tattoos. He had to read it in the mirror.
Really?
Oh yeah, you never saw that?
That was one of Christopher Nolan's.
That's a
first
great
movies, I
movie.
think.
I don't know, but I saw Hulk Hogan going off backwards in reverse, his audio, and it was terrifying.
And only
So Hulk Hogan backwards is pretty good too. I'm sorry, we digress.
yeah, we're digressing away. So, tool for the job. And talking about tools for the job, your FC1, Jim.
Oh, my FC1's for sale if anybody wants to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing the hard sell.
Well, you're
running
selling
like a
everything
boss.
right now, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I got too many motorbikes, but yeah, the FC1 was I got it a while back. It's a 2012. I think I bought it in around 2018 or
No, I think that'd be about right. No, it
Something
might
like-
even have been 17.
might be 17
Yeah.
because I needed a new commuter. So that was my step up from the FC6.
You needed a fast commuter.
Yeah, so the FC6 was a great bike, but I was ready to do something a little bit more. Needed something, less miles. So stepped up to the FC1. Excuse me. Picked it up down in Monterey, and I think it had 12,000 miles on it.
Yeah, it didn't have many miles.
Not bad
on
at
it.
all. Picked it up for $5,000 and rode the piss out of it for about 5 years as a commuter bike.
And how many miles are on it now?
Like 53,000.
Yeah.
But a dear friend of mine and amazing cycle mechanic went through it at about 48,000 miles.
Yes.
So I remember I brought it down to Monterey.
Yes.
You went through it. The spark plugs looked like they had mohawks. I don't know if you remember, the spark
Yes.
plugs were done. But anyway, yeah, so the FC1 was a step up from the FC6. Been my commuter bike for like the last 5 years. And really the only reason I sold it is because I wanted to step up to modern electronics. So ABS, traction control.
Actually, you got the GTS, don't you? Or
Yeah,
the-
so that's when I went and bought the 2022 Suzuki GSXS 1000
GSXS.
GT.
Sorry, yeah.
So it's the
Great
upright
touring sport.
Suzuki, and I
Yeah.
already got 12,000 miles on it.
Amazing.
Yeah, all commuter miles. But but the FC1, we did a few things to it, but it's sorted out and ready for someone to enjoy.
Those early generation 1000cc motors always have generator problems. Always.
Yeah, so we did have the rotor grenaded. I'll say I had that. We were going somewhere, and all of a sudden, hey, the bike's dying. And long story short, the rotor on the FC1s, it's more like a cup. It's not like a round thing. It's more like a deep cup. Mm-hmm. And on the inside of the rotor, where the magnets go, they had epoxied the magnets around the inside of the rotor. So when it spun, that's how it would do its thing. Well, apparently after about 46,000 miles, those magnets come off. And then the pieces of magnets just spinning, just grenade and blow everything else apart. So, and it's a known thing. If you do like the FC1 forums, eventually that could happen. So Emma helped me out with it. We switched it out to an aftermarket rotor where the magnets, instead of epoxied to the inside, had a ring and then pressed in. So it's kind of like a metal, not a bushing,
so they
but a
can't
metal
do it
bushing.
again.
Yeah.
So much more bomb-proof. And we put that in, ran like a champ. And since that time, I've just put a new chain on it, new battery, new turn signals, just so they matched.
Did you have a bitch of a time trying to pick out all those magnet pieces, or are they kind of...
No, they were all there.
Contained? Oh, okay.
No, they were all there.
They were all stuck, thank God.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
there was a possibility
Yes.
where a piece of magnet could find its way down into the
And then,
crankcase.
you've got a variety of ways to approach it. The proper way is to dismantle the engine and you've got to get everything out. But I mean, not everybody wants to do that.
on a modern sport bike, sport bike.
It can
rather not.
It can kill an engine. So
Yeah.
But here's what I should.
I gambled on that once and lost.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, what happened?
It went in between a couple of the gears in the gearbox and broke a couple teeth off.
Oh, no.
Ugh.
Yeah. It's just like neodymium magnets, right, that are in there, or is it some kind of special ceramic?
No,
magnet?
there's
regular
nothing
magnets?
special. Yeah, they're just
interesting.
rare
Regular
earth magnets,
Gotcha.
glued, epoxied. You know.
So if somebody wants to buy that from you, Jim, how do they get a hold of you?
Cleveland Moto. Phil. I don't just email the garage. However, just check it out online.
Yeah.
Email the
So
garage.
what are you going to do? Put it on eBay, Craigslist,
Yeah, I'll Craigslist. I'm thinking
Facebook Marketplace.
I don't do Facebook, but I don't think it. Around $4,000. It runs like a beast. I took it down I took it up Highway 1 between here and Capitola just this afternoon.
Yeah.
The thing fucking rips. I mean, the bike is
man.
sorted out. It's fast. It's more nimble than Suzuki. I'll tell you.
I was
that.
going to say, do you think it's quicker than
Absolutely.
the Suzuki?
Yeah.
You
yeah.
really think it's quicker than
Oh,
the
yeah.
Suzuki?
It's more raw. It's a more raw feeling.
It's a more visceral
but
experience.
still very easy to control. But as far as flipping it around, maneuverability, the FC1 has way more than the GSXS. GSXR, I don't know. I haven't ridden one of those. Knock me, you might know better. But the FC1 is just super nimble and tons of power. I mean, if it had ABS, I wouldn't be selling it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the ABS does give you a little bit of confidence to have a little more fun, I'll say. But yeah, it's been a great bike. Yeah, so I'll probably sell for like $4,000. I don't know, somewhere that'd be around my number. You don't see a lot of them for sale.
Yeah, people really like them. They know what they have, and they really like them.
Like I said, it's been my commuter, so I never neglected it. It's not like it sat around. I rode it on the weekends.
Right.
Like, dude, I had to ride that fucker over 17 every day, so I kept it pretty well maintained. And like I said, Emma, you went through it about
I went through
48,000, did everything, valves, plugs, filters, fluids.
Cam chain tensioner, the whole 9 yards. Yeah, and it's a good-looking bike. It's pearl white. It's got the red and black checkerboard.
Yes, again, another Emma special. So it's got the nice pearl white paint job. And then the fairing, I dropped it once. Low speed drop, broke the fairing. And Emma's like, well, we happen to have a Japanese OEM pearl white with the red Yamaha dashes down the side. Because the stock one just had the plain white, but the one with the red Yamaha little dashes, like the yellow and black ones.
Those things are reflective.
Fucking brilliant. Yeah.
Oh, God, it looks
the bike
good.
pops. So the bike looks great. So, I'll sell it in no time quick, I'm sure. But
I'm sure you will. Yeah, well, good luck with the sale. Yeah.
So, Emma, I sent you a couple emails, and I sent Bagel a couple emails.
So, what we'll do, because you know what? Here's the deal, dear listener. We are doing a slightly shorter show. And the reason being, it's funny.
Because Liza can't tell us no.
Tonight at the Catalyst, you can go see the Bad Light play.
There you go.
So Sunday night at the Catalyst, the Bad Light. I'll be there.
Shall we do a what dat?
Let's do a what dat.
What dat?
What dat?
So, this is from Dean Hoffmeyer.
Hey, Dean.
Dean?
Dean's been hanging out in my... Dean's been hanging out in my shop. And he sent me a picture. There's the picture.
Oh, what dat?
Yeah, what dat?
What dat?
So, Dean sent me a picture.
This is a
what
picture
dat?
podcast now.
Of Hellgirl. And Hellgirl, for those of you that listen to the Misfits training tour episode, she's the doll I brought back from Munich. And she's sitting on an engine.
That you rescued from the roof of a building.
Yeah, rescued from the roof of
that's
the building.
the doll. Oh,
that is Hellgirl. And there you go. She's quite evil looking. Yeah. And her eyes light up and steam comes out of her ears and her head spins
That thing's
around.
cursed, I can tell.
Oh, yeah. However, I don't think that's what Dean wants. What dat? He wants to know about this engine.
Is it a Lifan?
No, it's a Takagawa.
Oh, what?
So, Dean, quite rightly, is probably wondering, how do you justify $10,000 to $12,000 for a 125cc Japanese engine?
$10,000 to $12,000.
That is what a Takagawa will cost you.
Does that make it's how many cc's is it?
125.
Does it make like 100 horsepowers or something?
No, it makes about 30.
It's a race engine or what is it?
Yeah, so it's all roller bearing race engine.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Precision engineering.
It's beautifully made. And you can't really tell in the picture, but if you... Here you go, knock. If you look at the casing...
Yeah, that doesn't look cheap. That's all billet.
It's absolutely... It's just beautifully made. And I don't know whether you can... See what it says on the top end?
This is Rosif at APR. What?
It says... it says Takagawa Racer Arm.
Oh.
Which means that the rocker arms are like made out of just complete unobtainium stuff.
Okay.
So what is a Takagawa? A Takagawa is a very, very high performance 125 engine or 150 engine. And it's based on the old sticking cylinder sticking straight out of the front Honda C-Series engine.
Yeah, it's a pretty little engine for sure.
So, so is this a modified Honda engine or is
no?
it
They're built from scratch.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But
Just that pattern,
it's just that pattern.
Okay, cool.
So there you have it.
I saw that on the counter when I was down there on Friday.
Yeah, I mean, I've been looking.
Do they win races?
Oh God, yeah.
Like what races are you going to win?
Well,
with
you
that?
know,
Like
there are
Speedway or
specific. No, there are specific lightweight classes in Japan for these bikes. You know,
okay.
they're not the ones with the crazy, betting bikes that we've seen where one handlebar's up here and the other's down here. It's not that, but they do a lightweight race. With these, and they basically look like monkey bikes. They look like the Amigo. But just better.
Why is one sitting on your counter at work?
It needs rebuilding.
Oh, okay.
And, of course, it's tra-la-la. The transmission's shot. So I'll probably have to try and find a transmission from WetBike. So if ever you have a peculiar Japanese conundrum, go to WetBike and they have the parts you need.
Yep.
WEBIKE. That's a Miss Emma top tip. But bring your checkbook because nothing's cheap on the WetBike site.
Yeah, I found them looking for Morphos parts.
And did you get what you needed?
I did get most of what I needed, yes.
Fantastic. And, while we're talking about WetBike, we can talk about our friends at CSMNL in the Netherlands, who, if you've never heard of CSMNL, Consolidated...
SNL.
Yes, it's Consolidated Motors Parts Netherlands, something like that. They do everything for Japanese bikes. They're amazing. They've got a wonderful website, very reasonable shipping. I just rebuilt a 69 Yamaha DT1 at work, and they had everything in stock.
Is it that blue color, blue and yellow?
Yes, yes, all those things. Bagel, what you got, dear?
Yes. I have an email from John C. Smith.
Hey, John.
And John writes, "Hi, Misfits. Your mention of electrical issues last week reminded me that I wanted to share a cautionary tale of my own.
Oh, God.
This past May, I was riding out to the boondocks in West Virginia, 3 hours away to stay overnight. 2 hours in, I stopped to check my course and noticed a rotten egg smell.
Oh, boy.
Thinking I had stopped near someone's faulty septic field, I continued on.
Oh, that was your battery, darling.
When later I stopped for gas, the smell was still there. And no, it wasn't not emanating from me. I have a voltmeter on my dash. And when I happened to glance at it a bit later, it was reading 15.6.
That's getting up there, isn't it?
A few miles on, my Oxford heated grips became super hot, even though I had not turned them on.
Oh, no.
The voltmeter read gibberish, not even a number. The bike then shut down completely.
Oh, no.
When I lifted the seat to check on the fuses, I noticed steam escaping from a seam in the formerly sealed Yuasa battery.
Ugh.
A tow, thanks AMA, got me and my Versa 650 off the road, and investigation showed that not only was the battery cooked and the heated grips practically melted, one wire poking through, but the ECU had fallen into terminal dementia, so the bike would crank but not fire.
Oh,
a new battery and a used ECU from eBay got me back on the road. Nothing other than the grips had melted as far as I could tell. I guessed that the reg rec had failed to do its reg job.
Yeah.
This was a supposedly better model from RM Stator with MOSFET circuitry. I reinstalled the original OEM reg rec as part of the repair. Comments and a question. Number 1, if you have a voltmeter, check the reading now and then, and if it's over 15, stop before you kill your battery and ECU.
Yes.
Number 2, unless you know that you're having severe digestive difficulties, a rotten egg smell might be a cry for help from your battery. And number 3, question, why is there no protection against or warning for overvoltage? The only fuse that blew was the one for the heated grips. Is it common for a reg rec to fail? And he ends up saying, at any rate, in the spirit of a community garage, I hope that this story helps someone else who may encounter a similar situation. Keep on doing what you're doing, John.
So why didn't the fuses blow?
Because it won't.
They won't.
No, the fuse don't protect you from overvoltage.
No.
Protects you from dead short. So that is great advice. Absolutely great advice. So what do we learn from this? What is the best reg rec for your bike? The OEM one. By far. I'm not sure what the culprit would have been with that.
Think it would have been a Stator, maybe?
No, I think, maybe the Oxford grips may have been.
Oh, yeah.
But it may have just been a failure within the reg rec.
There may have been a short in there, too, actually, that caused it to draw too much current, and that caused it to overcharge. Who knows?
Right. So I'm going to relay a story, and it's not really motorcycle related, but it is what it is. So anyway, back in, 83, my mum was shopping for a new car, and she wanted something a bit flash because she was that kind of woman, and she couldn't afford. What was she looking for? I think she was looking for a Benz, but she couldn't afford one, so she bought an Audi. She bought an Audi 100.
She didn't get a Trabant, huh?
No. So she bought an Audi 100.
The Trabant.
And I remember this car very, very well. It was a very good-looking car. It was gunmetal grey, and it had a cognac-coloured interior. The interior was
lovely.
Orange.
Cognac
Lovely.
guts, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So cognac interior, grey outside. Very, very nice-looking car. Anyway, she was dating a guy in, I think, Liverpool at the time. So she was cranking down the outside lane of the M6 going to Liverpool, and rotten egg smell, and she thought nothing of it, and she gets to a destination, and Mum was a bit short, so she always liked wearing platforms. So one of her platforms had melted. She's like, "What?" And and she was a bit upset because they were her best platforms and everything. And so basically, what had happened was the alternator, the reg rec in the alternator, had gone bad, and it had cooked the battery. And on the Audi, it sat right above the driver's feet because
so
the
weird.
Audi
weird.
as designed would have been left-hand drive, but they just so the battery was kind of in an odd spot, and she was just extremely lucky.
Yeah.
But of course the battery and it overflowed, and it just destroyed the carpet and everything. And those rotten bastards at Audi, they replaced the battery, they replaced the reg rec, but all the bodywork, all the carpet, all everything, she had to pay for.
Oh, that's not fair.
Wow.
And
Lame.
and a new pair of platforms, which she was most upset about because I don't think they were very old. So the fuse is not going to protect you from that, because what a fuse basically does, what a fusible link does, is it measures resistance, and when resistance gets to a certain point, a certain amperage, it says a certain,
So it's measuring draw not push.
Yes, a certain ohms, certain resistance. It just goes boom. I've had enough. When the voltage goes up, if you know that your current, volts times amps, resistance, and all that, your fuse isn't going to protect you from that. So when you're riding your bike, know your bike. Know your bike. Know what the noise it should make.
Yep.
Know the smell it should make. Listen, smell, feel it. If you're feeling a vibration through the handlebars, you've got something going on at the front end. You might have thrown a wheel weight. Well, guess what? Your wheel bearing may be going out. When your calipers may be falling off. If you're feeling a vibration through the seat, your rear wheel bearings may be going out. Your chain may be crying out for lubrication. Particularly if you're feeling a vibration. If you understand what does what to your bike, if you're feeling a chunky vibration through your left boot, that's the chain. If you're feeling a chunky vibration through your butt or your right foot, rear wheel bearings, engine mounts, all those things, If you're feeling a vibration through your knees where you grip the tank, that could be the top engine mount shaking the frame. Anything through the front end, wheel bearings, wheel weights, steering head bearings. And again, the smell. So had he adhered to his rotten egg smell, and it's hard because, they don't tend to do it as much as they used to.
Yeah.
But I remember back in the old days, cars' catalytic converters, there'd always be a rotten egg smell, especially if you went up a hill, because, cars would really heat up the exhaust gas going up the hill, and they'd clear out the catalytic converter. It sounded like somebody crapped their pants. Terrible smell. Terrible. Sound like somebody was walking around with 15 pounds of lukewarm crap in their trousers, and that is not a good smell.
No, thank you.
Yes, exactly. So, wise words all. And, a voltmeter helps. But, yeah, that's a bad deal taking out an ECU, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he's very, very lucky that is a common bike. Because if you were riding around on something like an Aprilia or an MV Augusta or even one of the early Gixxers.
Or a BMW even.
Yeah, and you fry the ECU, good luck.
Yeah.
Because you want to know what somebody will ask for an ECU for a BMW? What they damn well want.
Yeah, especially an older one.
Right. Exactly. Yep. So, very, very wise words. It sounds like he did everything right. He had a UASA battery in it. But I think the big mistake there, and I hate to throw these guys under the bus, but it's those MOFSAT regulators. Put a OEM. OEM is the way to go. Unless it's a Suzuki. If it's a Suzuki, you can fashion your own regulator rectifier out of plasticine, and it will be better than the original.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, Suzuki haven't been able to make charging systems since 1977. So why start now?
Yeah, I had to do it on mine.
Okay, so
I have actually had Gixxers pull into the shop with their reg recs on fire.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Jeez.
Yes.
Smoking. Yeah.
Yeah, no, on fire. Actually on fire.
Amazing.
And this kid, he's like, what's this smell? And he looks down, his bike's on fire, and he's like, oh my God. And he runs away.
No.
Sorry.
So 2 more emails. You have one, Emma, and Bagel has another.
Yes, I do. So, this is the GL650 one. So this is 2 parts. And this is from, hang on, let me get to the, who is this? It was Aaron.
Aaron.
A-Rod. Jastrab. I hope you and the Misfits are doing fantastic. It has been a while since I sent in a question, comment, or email. I started listening around May or June 2021, and this week I am completely caught up.
Oh my God.
That's solid work right there.
It is solid work. I started at episode 1, listening to every single episode in order, while also listening to the new episodes as they were released. I am not as efficient as some of the listeners as I get distracted by your antics. I would often find myself getting pulled away from work I'm supposed to be doing when listening to the podcast. I may also have been pulled into a couple of audiobooks too. But alas, success! I made it. Quite an experience. Listening to the many years of podcast in succession,
it's the emotional roller
hearing
coaster.
and understanding how much the Misfits have changed, grown, and created positive change in the lives of those you encounter. It is truly amazing what you do for the motorcycling community.
Aww.
Cheers, Aaron.
Yeah, cheers. That's super nice.
Thanks, dude.
Did you get a free T-shirt out of that or
It
something?
goes very, very dark now. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh my.
Unfortunately, this means I also had to find something to fill my time. And I had to listen to those guys up in Cleveland.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Put on your drunk goggles.
Well, he's redeemed himself. No, hang on. He's redeemed himself. He's redeeming himself. I fully support the Misfits putting out more podcasts in a week. So there you go. So having listened to Cleveland Moto, he's encouraging us to do more podcasts. I think that tells you everything you need to know. Are you listening, Philippe? So anyway, it just went to a 9 West advert. Here we go. Now the question for Miss Emma. Oh, that's me. I thought perhaps you might take a listen to the attached link. One of my buddies took a bit of a gamble on purchasing a non-running 1983 Silverwing GL 650.
Boy.
He got it for a good deal, about as close to the $500 project bike as you can get these days, and he has it running. However, there is a sound, and there is indeed a sound.
Is it him crying or wailing or gnashing of teeth?
Right next to the bike.
There are those sounds in the background. I have suspicions of what it might be, but I would really appreciate your expert opinion. Either way, it's going to be a teardown and go through to make sure it's all taken care of. Additionally, come to find out these little engines are a bit hard to find parts for. We have CMS in our bookmarked, but I'm curious if there are any domestic sources that should be checked before going to the Netherlands to purchase parts and shipping. Well, yes, there is. So you'd be surprised once you have access to a parts diagram. You'd be surprised how many parts Honda still do. Now, my go-to, guys, when I want to see original parts diagrams are, and we're going to do this in real time. So I'm not sure whether these people are actually called MR Cycles or Mr. Cycles. So, but it is MRCYCLES. So let's go there. So let's go to a new tab. So we're going to do MR Cycles. Don't forget to put the M. And it's a motorcycle parts store, Asheville, North Carolina. So we'll go to MR Cycles Honda. Okay, here we go. MR Cycles. Motorcycle OEM parts. We're going to go to 1983. And we're going to go to GL. Are you catching up with me, John?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
And we'll go to GL650A. So now, what we find when we go on, and let's go to the camshaft. So, the key is with this, yeah, there are some parts available. The key is, if you see a price, it's available. If you don't see a price, it ain't available. Now, let's talk about number 3.
There's not much available on that camshaft.
He's page. Absolutely, and the cam chain's not available, and blah, blah, blah. So, unfortunately, CSM is going to be a good source, as is a company called David Silver, spelt like the colour or the jewellery. David Silver's basically a British-based company, but they do have branches in New York, I think New York or somewhere out east as well, so they'll ship all over the US. Don't be too put off about buying parts from the Netherlands either. You know, they come far more quickly than you think. But let's talk about the GL650 and what it was. So the GL650 was really an upgrade from the GL500, which was itself an upgrade from the CX500, Honda's 500cc liquid-cooled V-twin. Mm-hmm. Now, the early CXs really had a plague of problems with them. They were rushed to production, they had crank problems, they had cam chain problems, they had camshaft problems, and theoretically, all of those problems should have been sorted out by the time this 650 comes along. However, there is a noise. From its location and the noise, and it's definitely a thud, it does sound cam chainy to me. Because I remember when these bikes were new, they did make quite a racket from the cam chain if they went bad. Now, I'm pretty sure the GL650 has an automatic tensioner. Just in case, in fact, I'm going to find out right now. If it's got a manual one, if you can adjust it, it might...
So I'm checking out the David Silver Spares page.
Yeah.
They have a cam chain for $55 or $73.
There you go.
$55 American. So they seem to have a bunch of parts on that page.
So there you go. So David Silver's going to be your domestic source. You know, whenever you have a bike with a noise, it's not top end. I'll tell you that for nothing. It's a little more sinister than top end. I'll put my money on either camshaft. It's either got a flat tappet on the cam, or cam chain tensioner problems. But it could be bottom end. You know, the early CX500s had all kinds of crank problems. My God. We did tons of them under warranty, and the cranks would just go out. They did kind of sound like that. But pull it down, pull it apart. It's, people will say, oh, it's a complicated engine. It's not. It's not built like a normal motorcycle engine.
The 650?
Yeah. But it's a really easy engine. You'll have so much fun pulling it down. You'll learn a crap load. My advice to you, buy a full gasket set and get pulling down. Learn a thing or two.
Tra-la-la.
Tra-la-la.
Cool.
Ha-ha!
Cool.
How about that?
There you go.
Bagel!
Yes. All right. Well, I've got an email from John from Maryland.
Hey, John from
Are
Maryland.
you sure?
And,
No. I'm going to stop you there. Are you sure it's not Mary from Johnland?
Yeah, he says it's John from Maryland. So,
With
John
the crabs.
writes,
He's got the crabs.
he always got the crabs in Maryland.
Is that where
John writes-
Baltimore is?
Yeah, Balmer. Yeah, down there in Maryland.
Oh, I see. This is okay. You don't say
Bombo accent.
Balmer.
Baltimore, it's a cultural
It's like solder.
cornucopia. You
It's
should
like
go
solder,
visit
solder.
sometime.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I heard, somebody told me that they visited Baltimore once and it was like this yellow sulfurous cloud was hanging over the city and they left immediately. Is that likely?
At one point,
We'll know when we
probably.
go.
Maybe back in the 70s. I don't know.
Probably back then, yeah.
Okay. Well, LA was covered in a brown.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you that my friend who was a pilot, he always said he flew 747s for British Airways, and he said you could always tell when you were getting towards LA because you see the bubble. And it was
the
like
brown
20.
bubble.
Yeah, there was like a brown bubble over the whole, and he just aimed for the bubble.
I believe that. It is gross.
But that was back
LA
in
is
the
gross.
day.
Oh, it hasn't improved much.
Well, no, I think the air's a lot better now than it was, but
True.
yeah. Okay. Sorry, Bagel.
Okay.
So anyway,
Yes.
so John writes, "Hey Misfits, John here.
Hello, Johnny.
Hey, John.
Recent news reports say a guy loaded 50 gallons of fuel on a water scooter in China and rode it 200 miles over the Yellow Sea to South Korea. I had never heard of a water scooter, but it's clear from the photographs that what they call a water scooter was a red jet ski. So a question for Bagel. Since there have been several misfit discussions in the past on this topic, is the jet ski a scooter?" John from Maryland.
So I have a question for John before we go any further. So I'm guessing you left Australia last year?
No, that's a Balmer accent.
Oh, is it really? Oh, okay.
yeah.
Good show.
Bombo.
I saw this email,
Yes.
and my opinion is it's a kind of lost in translation thing. But it's almost a valid argument.
But-
I mean,
I gotta say, I think they
It
are
is-
the scooters of the sea.
It is a
I
single
mean,
track vehicle.
Yeah,
Scooter
and
of the sea.
it's twist and go.
yes,
right?
so it's automatic transmission.
You can have a cocktail while you ride it.
Yeah. I mean, it's self-contained in bodywork, right?
Right.
It seemed it's not quite a step through design,
Because say not a step through.
but it's very easy to get on and ride.
I'm okay with
So-
calling it
And
a
you get
water
laid
scooter.
left and
Yeah, it
right
looks
if
a lot
you
like
ride
the
one,
Bergman.
that's for sure.
Yeah, well,
If you
that's
ride it
what
well,
differs
yeah.
from the scooter.
Oh, it's a bitch magnet. Yeah.
yeah.
But I was also going to say that if you took a Yamaha Wave Runner, right? Say the Yamaha Wave Runner, Yamaha Wave Runner,
Blah, blah.
like say that's Ariel in The Little Mermaid, right?
Mhm.
My Yamaha Morphus is the scene where she gets magically transformed into a human being. That's all I'm going to say.
Your Morphus
Nice.
your Morphus is a gooey duck.
It's an evolved Wave Runner that's learned how to walk on land.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of valid. I've never thought of it before. Do you ever
Whoa.
remember in the very, very early days of personal watercraft, Kawasaki were in the game and they did this thing called the WetBike? Do you remember
Yes.
the WetBike?
Yeah, I remember that.
I've heard
Which
Phil
had-
talk about the WetBike.
Which had skis.
Dude, a new wave runner is $11,000.
We'll
That's
probably
about-
do 120 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's
too.
crazy, dog.
Probably.
Look up, look up Kawasaki WetBike.
We also had the stand-up ones.
Well, I
whatever
think
they
that's
were.
what a wet bike is.
No, the wet bike had the skids.
Yeah.
Yeah, WetBike looks like a snowmobile.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
No, the
Yeah.
stand-up ones were just like
Very
they're-
early days.
Whoa!
Yeah, there is a Cleveland Motor podcast where Phil talks about the wet bike. It sounds frighteningly dangerous.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of people...
Well, I'm sure they make a bunch of power.
This thing's got a fucking hydrofoil? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, you're basically sitting on a personal hydrofoil.
Oh, shit, that's dope.
But the reason I brought that up is that is every inch the motorcycle. So I think the moniker's fine. I'm kind of okay with this. I'm kind of okay with calling personal watercraft scooters.
This wet bike.
I honestly am too. I think there's some shared DNA there for sure.
You know, I thought initially when I read it, I thought, you know, it's one of these things that's kind of lost a little in translation. But I think it's legit. I really do.
I'm going to start calling them water scooters from now on. Full stop.
So I like that, water scooters.
Yeah.
So when I first came to America, which was the mid-90s.
Did you meet George Washington?
Yes. When I first came to America, Knock, in 94, I worked at a very, very big motorcycle dealership in San Luis Obispo. Mm-hmm. And we sold Sea-Doos. And they, and they all used to come down from Canada. Yeah. And these giant Canadian truck drivers were a riot because they'd do a line of coke when they left the factory, and they'd just drive straight through. They would drive straight through, absolutely high as kites. Oh my God. And I said to them back then, because, you know, I said, guys, don't you ever worry about getting pulled over and losing your license. And he said, no. He said, you know, they always had a jar of child urine with them just in case. But the secret weapon apparently was this stuff called Golden Seal, which they all got from the health food shop. Okay. And you drink Golden Seal and it flush everything out of your body.
Is that a top tip?
Yeah, it's a top tip. Apparently it's very good if you have a cold as well, because it'll just flush all the toxins out of your body. But I remember
I quit cocaine for nothing.
Giant,
I wish I'd known that.
Absolute giant Canadians getting out of these rigs, just absolutely high as kites, and they just turn around and drive straight back to Canada again. And of course they were earning a ton of money because they're just driving up and down from Canada to California and back.
Some of that goose powder, baby.
Yeah. Doing a line on the dashboard of the truck. Woohoo, here we go.
Wow.
But of course back then they were all two-strokes. They were 4.5 two-strokes. I guess they're all
deliver themselves.
Yeah, they're all 4-strokes now, I would think, and then I believe they're making the jump to electric. But yeah, I'll take it. I think they're scooters. So
agreed.
Well, the WeBike made was like 750 cc's,
made like 50
horsepower. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, it'd be terrifying to ride. Terrifying.
Well, it's like snowmobiles. Talk about terrifying. Jesus.
I've never ridden one. I always wanted to.
Oh, they're fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them. Yeah.
So you know what? I said when we started this, I said we're going to do an hour show. Well, here we are at 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And I feel it has been quite a productive show. What do you feel?
I'm all good about it.
So
I'm real good about it.
Next week,
What are we talking about?
Well, next week I'm quite excited because we have some of our lovely guests who were on the Castles and Curves tour.
Ooh, very exciting.
And we have Mrs. Cat, none other than Nancy, a.k.a. Mouse, who's going to come and talk about the historical side of the tour and all the fun we had and why you should sign up for Castles and Curves 2024. So that's going to be next week.
Just do it.
And, you know, I hope you can start joining us a little more often, Knock.
Yeah,
we miss you, Knock.
Yeah, we miss you. And, you know, the child came up to me and she said, Miss Emma, she said, you seem so nice. Can you get that man out of my life, please? So, you know, it was a request from a child, Knock.
Not possible.
It smells like rotten eggs.
Yeah.
Well, we know that, but we're used to the smell. But no, thank you all for listening. So what can we tell you to do? We can tell you to go on to motorcyclesandmisfits.com, our website, which is a treasure trove of information. Keep sending us your emails. We read all of them. We put some of the good ones on.
Motorcyclesandmisfits at gmail.com.
Exactly, motorcyclesandmisfits@gmail.com.
Send your complaints to clevelandmoto.com.
Phil at cleveland.moto for a complaints department. And if you have any, what dat?
What?
What that?
Okay.
Yeah, you see something
What dat?
on your bike,
Who dis?
or
New phone,
on
who
your
dis?
friends, or on a complete stranger's bike, take a picture of it. What dat?
What at?
Exactly.
Or on the
is?
body part. That's
And
just going on.
above all, thank you all for listening. It's been quite an interesting road, hasn't it?
Who day?
It really has.
And you did the full day duty today too.
Yes,
you were here
I
bright and early, and we're here
Duty.
till now. So thank you, Emma.
I like to think that I stand up when Liza is away, and I run the garage to the best of my ability. So hopefully
I
next
remember
week
those
will
days.
go. Next week will go as smoothly as this week, and then we're going to have a great ride report from Liza in 2 weeks.
If
She
anybody
comes back
sees her
next week?
if you see her in England, just yell at her, go, "Oi, wanker!"
Oh,
Well, no, I gave her. Funnily enough, she was. I spoke to her by the telephone today, and she was watching me on the camera in the garage, and so I gave her a few instructions
how to order
on
food in Britain.
how to get a waiter's attention in Britain.
Oi!
And oi,
Where my
wanker.
bangers and mash, eh?
Yeah, where's my baggers and mash, you tosser? And you guarantee good service. You see?
They will not spit in your food.
No, absolutely not. You know. Is that a chocolate log?
It's a baby Ruth.
Spotted dick.
Oh God! And on that note, I think it is time to get out of here. This is Emma Darling.
Stumpy John.
Bing bong.
Lotamasi.
Bagel.
And we are out of here.
Cool.